All right, so I'm doing a little map study here, just to give you folks an idea of probably the longest ruck I've done since I've been out here was when I went out to Rialto Beach. So basically I camped out for a couple days right here at this point. Then I made a movement down to the park. I got myself adjusted in about 2000 Zulu time. I stepped off and humped along here. And then at this intersection right here of Mora Road and La Push Road, I stopped for about, that's my longest break, 30 minutes. And to heat up some chili. And then I made my movement again, stopping about every hour just to make a quick map check. And I made it all the way, basically, I'll try to point out about where it's been a while, but I want to say maybe about here is where I had my wildcat / wolf encounter. But again, remember, I didn't stick around to figure it out. And then, yeah, and then here at the T of the 101, and this is La Push Road. Yeah, made my way back to the transfer center. I made it there by 02:15, I want to say. Every time I took a break, I stopped my stopwatch, so it took a little over 5 hours, but technically 6, including breaks. Without breaks, 5 hours. So, yeah, I remember I just crashed there till 07, and I caught the bus back to Bogle State Park. And you see I kind of have a rough pinpoint about where my OP Grizzly was at. Over across the river, I marked off where that paid recreation site is at, the one that I initially camped out, thinking it was part of Bogle State Park. But I was gravely mistaken, especially when 3 sheriffs showed up. And we're like, yeah, you need to vacate the premises. They were cool, though. One of them was a fire service Marine, so it worked out. But currently, I'll probably cut this here, but to give you an idea, so Bogle Chill. Oh yeah, so give you an idea how long my walks into town would be. So basically, from where you depart, okay, so let's see, there's the river. Basically, there's a road right here you can kind of see, or maybe it's over, no, it'd be right here, Undi Road. You depart Undi Road, and then that's right, yeah. And then right about here, the park cuts off. That they have a sign right there that says, you know, you've reached the state park deadline. All right, so yeah, so you know, come along here. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Basically about the bend right here is where the murder house is at, as I call it, which I found out later on was a house that was inherited by, you know, some daughter or something like that, and it ended up kind of becoming a drug house, and that's why it's in such rough shape. I'm actually going to try to look into see if it's for sale. That'd be a project house that, I don't know, could easily, it's a nice area. You know, I'm always looking for opportunities, you know what I mean? No different than this restaurant, you know? Which is apparently, when they retire, they're not sure what they're going to do with it, but I told them I'd be interested in purchasing it and keeping it as it is with the dollar bills and the whole nine. I wouldn't want to change a thing about it, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so basically from about here, you know, immediately when you leave the park and Undi Road, there's a mile marker. It's one thing you guys should pay attention to when you're on the road, if you don't already, is there's green mile markers. For instance, right here, there's a mile marker 186. So even without my phone or anything, I've been able to keep track of how many miles I've walked. You know what I mean? So basically, about 5 miles later, you pass. So here's the airport, the Timber Museum, and then Bogle Way. Yeah, so I want to say, can't pinpoint it directly, but just roughly about here, as you is the transfer center, and as you're approaching the transfer center, there's a marker for mile 191. So that's when you've hit 5 miles. Keep in mind, when I initially tested myself, it took about 2 hours. Again, I took my time, but gosh, the other day I did it in an hour and 20 minutes. That's pretty decent. It's not special forces exceptional, I would say, but you know, they're going to get me prepped for that, you know, over the course of one-stop unit training, and particularly selection prep, you know, 6-week selection prep. You know, they're going to get me dialed in. Again, my goal is to have 13-minute ruck miles. And then, of course, I need to be able to run. My goal is to be able to run 5 miles, you know, boots and utes in under 35 minutes. So at any time, I have to be able to wake up and do that. And no matter how much sleep I've gotten, I have to be able to wake up and run 5 miles in 35 minutes or less. 40 minutes being the minimum standard, but, you know, fuck the minimum standard, right? Anyway, so I'll cut this real quick, and then let's give you a quick map study of where I'm at now. Because to get to where I'm at now, you drive up the 101, doopy-doopy-doo, up here, and then cut it. All right, show you where I'm at now. So where that map cut off, see, that signal leads to Forks. So you come up the 101. Chua. Yeah, you know. And the one thing I should point out, the Solduck River is right here. It connects all the way down. It actually goes all the way down to... where are we at? Oh, the Solduck. So here's the Quillette River County Park. I mean, the Quillette River. And then right here, that bisects. And Bogelchill, that's where Bogelchill River runs. And it runs pretty darn far. You know, over here, doobie-doobie-doo, back to where I was camping at, and then it breaks off. There's basically the Bogelchill Valley, okay? So it can get a little bit tricky to follow, but basically, basically you see where my pen's following Bogelchill all the way over, see? So getting back to where I'm at, so again, Solduck River comes up here. I mean, you can follow the river you can follow the road to get to where I'm at. So past Sappho, about right here, is where I catch the public bus if I ever take the bus. And then right here where I pinpointed is where I'm at right now. See, the Bear Creek Road is right over here. Directly in front of me, I have Dead Man's Hill. So Dead Man's Hill right there. And yeah, so it's basically where I'm at. But again, getting back to following the Solduck River, so you can either follow the road. Here's the Solduck River, it comes around here, and then boom, doobie doobie doo, doo 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 doo. You know, so it comes around here. You know, that's why here and here you pass. There's a couple bridges here. Let me mark that off real fast. That's actually how I know that if I'm on the bus and I'm coming back this way and getting a flag stop, because they'll drop me off right at the front of the DNR. I know that I'm getting close because I'm going under, there's 2 bridges that you surpass. And then the bus driver will also announce, hey, Sappho stop coming up, you know, parking right there. And, but yeah, so, I mean, some of the videos and pictures I take, I'm basically right on the river, like right here. You know, I guess facing it. Yeah, it makes sense because there's a bend. Where I'm at, there's a bend. So, I mean, in theory, if I was really feeling motivated to get to basically the coast, I mean, I could follow this river all the way. You know, see what I'm saying? Here, follow my pen. Boom. You know, all the way to the Solduck River. Let's go back to this map. And yeah, so the river here. And it was cool because all along the way, you know, there's always fishing spots. See these doodads here? You know, those all represent something, which, let me find the key. That's right, I cut it off. It's all right. But as you can see, I could just follow the river all the way down to, you know, and all the way through here. You have to be careful over here because this is an Indian reservation, right? And so that's native land. You can't really trespass on it, right? You know what I mean? And then of course La Push, that is native land. And right now, I believe it's closed. They can pick and choose when it's open and closed for whatever reason. So it's still something I haven't really wrapped my brain around. But then again, you know, we did like a lot of egregious things to the natives, you know. So anyway, that kind of cuts this map study off. But yeah, so basically I was camped out there for a couple days, and you know, so yeah, the more map study I do, I'm probably going to do some sort of long-term movement, especially now that I have my Alice pack, so stand by for that. Either way, Roger out for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this little map study, and go forth, do great things. Peace be with you. God be with you. Roger out.